But I'm curious how you understand it being different to be a 6-line body versus as a 6-line personality. Because that's something I'm still feeling into. I know we're meant to be grounded in our design, to really know that this is who we came here to be, that grounded energy of the red gates, so that we can fully emphasize. So for me, I'm meant to be grounded in my natural talent, hermitness, the knowing that I need to go inward for people to draw out what's correct in a way that like helps me to really shine as the role model I'm meant to be. But you're meant to be grounded in your role modelness and then bring it to your network. And I'm curious how that has played out for you.
Well, it's interesting because I almost feel like that my 6 is like just the quiet water that I swim in. Like it's there, but I don't think about it. And if I'm thinking about it, like if I push it forward too much, then it tends to go wrong. So it's not something that I feel like it's an energy that you almost bring forward that people they just feel it about you if you're really living into it. Like I know, like if I'm being really pushy and like trying to be an authority on something, people will be like, yeah, no, she's not for me. But if I'm just talking from my heart and sharing my gifts, then people will automatically see me as a role model. They just will naturally gravitate towards that. So it's an energy, it's in how I embody it and work with it. So like it's almost like if I'm consciously thinking of it, the results aren't as good. And the relationship I have with it isn't as good versus if I just relax and let it be. And so we talked about,
right?
Yeah, I'm 45. So, and I feel like, cause I have a little bit of a different thought process with that 6 and the triphasic thing too. I think like we go through that whole triphasic experience when we're doing something new. So like even later in life, if you were to start like doing meditation teaching, like there's still that same triphasic process to it. Like and like, cause I spent 20 years working in healthcare and in surgery, and how it was kind of triphasic too, because we were taught that you see one, do one, teach one as far as surgery. So you would get a chance to watch one, and then you had to actually do the surgery. And then after doing one, you were teaching one. And so I kind of equate that to that 6-line and triphasic thing too. So when I'm learning something, like I watch it, I watch how other people work with human design. And then I have to get in there and I have to do it, because immediately when I started learning human design, I started asking people, I'm like, are you willing to work with me? Are you willing to play with me and talk to me about this kind of stuff? Because I actually had to do it. And then on certain aspects of human design, now I'm in the teaching phase. So
that's really interesting that you brought that up, because when I was just teaching a class on something. We were talking about the lines of the profile, and one of the students, I guess, is for lack of a better word, that just feels, I don't like the separation of levels, but one of the participants was a 6-2, and he's actually trained as a doctor. And we were talking about, I think actually his wife brought up how she felt that related to the 6th line. And so just to have 2 people bring that up, so close to time. And I don't think anyone's ever brought that. It always feels like when things that, there's no coincidences. So I feel like I'm supposed to pay attention to that idea. It makes a lot of sense though, too. I've always seen the elements of all 3 parts of the 6th line in each part, because, even as a kid, people tended to look to me like for some kind of guidance and answers. And on the roof, even though I was trying to just take it all in and watch, everybody's always kind of watching me, like, well, what would Kathy do, type of thing. So that makes sense. And it's a great way to put it. And I love